Hi everybody, I sat down for 5 minutes and look who showed up on my lap. And now that wait, am I covering the microphone? Hold on. Now that I'm stuck here on the couch with my good friend Filbert, I think I'll do a story time. So, this is a story about a holiday gift exchange that I participated in 10th grade when I was 16 years old. So, and I was telling this story to a couple of my coworkers recently, but I didn't tell them the whole thing because it's like 2 stories in one, but it's funny. So, when I was in 10th grade, we did like a holiday gift exchange in my class, like in homeroom, you know? And of course I was like, you know, like I'm gonna bring something really stupid to this gift exchange. Like, I'm not gonna bring a real gift. I'm gonna be a big jerk and bring something annoying. I was like a prankster in high school, I guess. I was like class clown. So, God, I cannot get a good angle on this. I don't know. So I went to the store and I bought the grossest thing that I could find at the grocery store, which was a jar of pickled pig's feet. Which, like, maybe some people don't know that, like, people eat pig's feet that have been pickled. Don't ask me, man. I eat vegan. You guys can have all the pig's feet you want. But anyway, so I found this jar of pickled pig's feet. It was like a generic jar. Like, so, like, the label wasn't even fancy. The label was just white. And it just said, like, in big black letters, pig's feet. And it was so gross. And it was this jar of, like, severed pig's feet. So I bought this jar of pickled pig's feet, and I had my mom wrap the jar, like, super, super fancy. My mom's really good at wrapping presents. I'm really bad at wrapping presents. So my mom wraps up this jar of pickled pig's feet, like, so nice. It looks like the nicest gift ever. And I brought it to the gift exchange. And there was, like, I remember there was only, like, 6 people that participated in this thing. There was, like 20 kids in my class. And, you know, like, only, like, six of us fucking show up with gifts because, you know, like, we're all 16. We can't be bothered to do anything. So I just remember there was this moment, the person who got the jar of pickled pig's feet was actually this boy that I had a crush on, this, like, really, like, he was, like, this super, like, geeky guy, but I thought he was really cool, and, because he was funny, and so we found out we had both trolled the gift exchange, because I brought a jar of pickled pig's feet to the gift exchange, and he brought, okay, backstory. There was all these, like, anti-drug posters hanging around our school, you know, like, you know, like, don't do drugs are bad, here's what's gonna happen to you, and, you know, we used to make fun of them all the time, and they were up for a couple weeks, and then one day they were all gone, and nobody knew why. All the posters just disappeared, and, oh, look, Bee-Boo is up here, too. Hi, Bee-Boo. We've just got lots of cats right now. So anyway, we didn't know what happened to the anti-drug posters, and this boy that I had a crush on, he had actually stolen all of the anti-drug posters from the hallway and wrapped those. And so his present in the gift exchange was all of the anti-drug posters that had been hanging in the hallway a couple of weeks ago. And my gift in the gift exchange was a jar of pickled pig's feet. So I didn't, I think I ended up getting a pen in the gift exchange, like, lamest gift ever, but at least it was useful. But he I told him that, like, I brought a funny gift, but I didn't tell him, like, what it was. So he picked it. And I just remember, like, it was, like, the proudest moment of, like, my little 16-year-old, life, my little angsty 16-year-old life, where, like, where he pulled it, and I started laughing, and everyone in my class knew that I was up to something, because they just knew I was, because I would be. And the whole class, like, leaned in, like, ooh, what's it gonna be? And he, like, rips off the tissue, and it just says pig's feet, and, like, the whole class is like, ah! I just died. I just died in the corner. It was like the greatest moment. So then, like, whatever, we get through the rest of class, then it's lunchtime. So me and my friend Jane, are, like, wandering around the hallways. This is what you do at 16, though probably a lot of you are 16, so maybe you know. And we're, like, wandering around, like, super bored, and we, like, run into this guy and his friends, and we're like, hey, like, are you guys gonna eat those pig's feet? And they like, open the jar, and they're like, no, we want to dare somebody to eat it. And Jane goes, well, I'll eat one. And, we're all like, oh, is Jane actually going to eat a pig's foot? And she, like, reaches in with her, like, painted nails and, like, pulls out it was so gross. She, like, pulls out, like one of these, like, a fucking pickled pig's foot. It's disgusting. And she, like, almost eats it. And then she's like, no, I'm not going to. And so she's like, what are we gonna do with this? We should, like, throw it at someone, And I'm like, okay. You have to understand that my memories of myself at this age are, like, pretty much like an episode of Beavis and Butthead. So, like, if you're a Beavis and Butthead fan, you can just imagine me and my friend Jane as Beavis and Butthead. I don't know who is which one, but that's completely my memory of what it was like to be that age, of just standing around and, like, making, like, dirty jokes and laughing and just being, like, complete idiots. So, and someone asked me earlier on here, how old am I? I am 31 now. So 16 was a long time ago. But anyway, and I still sit around making dirty jokes and laughing like an idiot. Yeah. So, anyway, you don't have to be 16 to, be an idiot. So Jane and I are like, ooh, let's go throw this pig's foot at someone, and we're like walking around, but we can't find anyone, like, anyone that we want to, like, give a hard time to. But there was this kid there. Like, there's this kid that went to our school. Jane was a couple years older than me. She was only 14 at this time. I was 16. There was a kid in her class who was so mean. His name was Max. He was, like, the meanest fucking kid, seriously. In fact, one year, a bunch of girls jumped this kid in the hall and, like, beat the shit out of him because he was such a fucking asshole. So, like, this kid was terrible. Like, he was just so mean to everyone. He thought he was so cool. Whatever. And Jane's like, oh, let's go throw it at Max. And I was like, okay. So we go into the gym, and this was funny because me and Jane were, like, the two punk girls at my school. Like, no, but, like, everybody else was, like, like, into rap or, whatever. This was 2003. And Jane and I are, like, super punked out. Like, we both have, like, crazy, like, chopped up hair. My hair was very similar to how it is right now. It was green. It was short. And, we're wearing, like, ripped up fishnets and, like, studded belts and, like, like, leopard print mini skirts and motorcycle jackets or whatever, and, like, weird vintage things. So, like, so the two of us walking into the gym was just funny because, it's like, what the fuck are Stella and Jane doing in the gym? Like, yeah, totally, totally incognito. Stella and Jane surely aren't up to anything devious. Why are they in the gym? So we wander into the gym, like, doo-doo-doo, and we, like, there's Max playing basketball with his, like, you know, crony friends, and, like, we, like, kind of, like, insert ourselves into, like, the bleacher area, and we're like, doo-doo-doo, just watching the game. What do you guys, it's a big ball you got there. And I'm like, well, which backpack is it? Oh, yeah, so Jane was like, let's slip it in his backpack. And I was like, oh, man. And I was like, how do we know which backpack is his? And she was like, I have class with him. I know which backpack is his. And she's like, it's that one. That's his backpack. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. Yes, I am sure. And I was like, okay. I'm going to open the backpack, and you're going to put it in the backpack. Then I'm going to close the backpack, and we're going to run away. And she's like, okay. So that's what we did. So I, like, we, like, wait for, like, you know, no one to be looking at us. And I, like, kind of, like, open the backpack. And she drops it in, and I zip it up, and we, like, bolted the fuck out of there. Like, whoop! And, you know, we're feeling pretty cool. We're like, oh, man, we showed that stupid, mean boy fucking put a pig foot in his backpack, huh? And we go off to science class. And we walk into science class, and this really, like, threatening girl that I didn't know this girl. I don't know where she came from. But, this really threatening girl all of a sudden, like, barrels into the room. Class hasn't started yet. We, like, got in there early. This girl, like, all of a sudden, like, rages into the room and corners me. And so this girl is standing, like, right in front of me. But Jane is standing right behind the girl. So Jane and the girl are, like, you know, like, the girl's here, and then, like, Jane is here. So I'm looking at both of them. And the girl goes, did you put a pig ear in my cousin's backpack or fucking something? And I was like, what? And she's like, did you put a pig ear in my... No, it wasn't her cousin. I'm sorry. I messed that up. A pig ear in my brother's backpack. And I thought for a second, because, like, I mean, okay, like, clearly what really happened, and I feel bad about this, is that Jane had the wrong backpack. We put the pig foot into the wrong kid's backpack. And he told his very scary older sister, who, you know, weighed about as much as me and Jane combined, to, like, come after us. And, you know, like, so this girl's gonna, like, fucking punch me in the face, right? Like, she's pissed that I've, like, put this pig foot in her little brother's backpack while he was playing basketball. You know, it wasn't that little. He's like, you know, 14-year-old kid. I was 16. Don't worry. We weren't, like, harassing any children or anything. But, like, but I thought for a second, because, you know, I'm kind of like a little punk back then. I thought for a second, and I was like, did I put a pig ear in her brother's backpack? And I was like, well, first of all, it was a pig foot, not a pig ear. Second of all, I knew that Max didn't have any siblings. And third of all, I wasn't the one that put anything into the backpack. I just opened and then closed the backpack, and it was actually Jane who technically put the item into the backpack. So I digested that very quickly in my head, and then I looked at her and just very calmly said, no, because I didn't. Technically, I did, but I didn't. So I said, no. And I said it so convincingly that she was like, oh, for real? And I was like, yeah, I didn't put a pig ear in your brother's backpack. And she's like, and the whole time Jane is standing behind her, like, she can't see her. And the girl's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Oh God, I just ran in here yelling at you. Man, I'm really sorry. I must have the wrong person. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And then she's like, well, have a good day. And I was like, yeah, see you later. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's a really funny story looking back on it, because this whole thing started from me bringing a prank gift to a gift exchange at my high school. But I don't think today I would. I think today I would still be the kind of person to bring a prank gift to a gift exchange. I don't think I would be the kind of person to put a pickled pig's foot in someone's bag. That's really mean. But sometimes you're really mean when you're a teenager. These days, people are usually just really mean on the internet when they're teenagers. I didn't have the internet when I was a teenager. It existed, but I didn't have it. So, lucky me. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that story of me being a little jerk. And, here's Filbert. Hi, Filbert. Hey. And that's all I have to say. I'll tell you another story later. And tomorrow, tune in for Easter fun. See you later.